For Doncaster and Bassett Law Hospital's NHS Foundation Trust, like many other trusts, the generation and delivery of clinical correspondence from hospital to GP practice was subject to significant delays.
From a patient coming into the trust to having an outpatient clinic appointment to the GP actually receiving a clinic letter could be up to 10 weeks.
Paper-based working was clearly not able to deliver on the recently introduced 24-hour targets set for NHS discharge communications.
In general, the consultant dictated a letter on a dictaphone. It was given to medical secretary at end of clinic with a bunch of notes, and she would work through it, and then at some point the consultant would then sign the letter off.
The Trust soon realised that digital dictation was only one element of the solution, and that to speed up delivery they would also need an integrated workflow system to get each letter created and out to the relevant GP as quickly and efficiently as possible.
We were looking at digital dictation anyway as trying to improve the workflow with consultants. We were looking at correspondence and improving the flow to GPs and internally and the workflow, and it became apparent that actually these two things are not mutually exclusive. If you do both together, you'll gain the efficiencies of having a single integrated workflow all the way from dictation to GP.
Developed in consultation with clinicians, the service improvement team, IT staff and local GPs, the Medisec solution automatically matches a digital dictation file with the corresponding PAS details to produce a clinic attendance letter or discharge summary, which can then be both approved and delivered electronically.
When a patient comes to see me now, I would have a whole work list of the patients on my computer, and I would use a speech mic which is connected to my computer to choose a patient and make a dictation which is linked as a voice file to each of these patients' records which have been picked off our patient administration system.
It then gets attached to that patient. When they sign it off, it's then sent electronically to the secretary, who will be there to transcribe the letter, send it back to the consultant, who then sees it appear, maybe even whilst the patient's still there or at least outside. And then if they're happy with what's been transcribed, they can always re-listen back to the recording. They can literally sign it off then. The minute it's signed off, it will then be delivered to the GP.
In the old system, the time taken would be anywhere between a couple of days to maybe weeks or months. And in the new system, you could have it done within minutes.
As well as dramatically improving the turnaround of correspondence, the system also allows the Trust to track and monitor progress from the point the dictation is captured all the way to when it is delivered to the GP.
There's a monitoring module which is available for us to monitor how long it takes from clinic to the GP actually receiving the letter and the steps in between that. This system also means that we can monitor and spot backlogs. So from performers' perspective, we can monitor it from across the trust, and then we can highlight departments which might be they might be struggling with the targets due to backlogs in the system, and we could pinpoint where those backlogs are and report them to the departments for them to be able to put in their necessary improvements in place.
The geographical locations of the three trust hospitals, Doncaster, Bassett Law and Mexborough, had always caused a logistical headache, but thanks to Medisec, location is no longer a problem. Clinicians can dictate a letter on one site in the morning and approve it electronically in the afternoon from another.
We have clinicians who do work across all three sites, and we also have secretaries who will be based at one of the three locations. Now, from the introduction of Medisec integrated with digital dictation, this means that when a piece of digital dictation is created by a clinician, the secretary will automatically receive the digital dictation, type the letter, and then the clinician can immediately sign it off electronically, irrelevant of where they are based.
Clinicians and secretaries can now also access patient information at the touch of a button.
This kind of system bridges somewhere between having a full electronic patient record, which all doctors have been aspiring to. This brings us closer, because with the paper notes, to find any patient's relevant letters and which departments they have been to is difficult. This comes closer to at least letting you see all the clinic letters in a form where you can either sort it by date or sort it by specialty, and at least have access to all the patient's communication. It's not a full electronic patient record, but it comes close to it.
More than 100 clinicians are now using the system to create around 11,000 pieces of digitally dictated clinical correspondence each month. Feedback from clinicians and secretaries has been very positive, and the average delivery time from hospital to GP has been halved. Nearly a third of all clinical correspondence is now being delivered within 24 hours, not just the discharge letters that the NHS target relates to, and the Trust is confident that this figure will continue to improve.
The greatest benefits I think we've seen so far, and I think we're a long way before we're going to really reap the massive benefits, but the signs are around turnaround on clinic letters, how quickly they're getting typed, and more importantly, how quickly they're getting signed off. Improving the flow of correspondence across the NHS, by whatever means you do it, has got to be one of the fundamental improvements that IT can deliver.